Skyboxes in Destiny. It's one of the most fascinating and most prettiest looking things that Bungie really creates in their games. There's not a lot of stuff out there showing you how they actually do their exact processes or anything like that. So in this video I hope to really kind of show you what I know of how things were created from ripping assets from the games itself, and how things are actually layered together as like a painting itself. And also I want to share my blueprint that I created in Unreal Engine that has everything kind of custom. It's really done in the Cosmodrome whole stat right there, but you can actually customize it to whatever you would like at that point. So my main goal is to really share it with you guys, and you can customize it on your own accord and really make something better than what I have done already. So I really believe that you guys can do something better than I have, but this is a good start and give you some structure so anybody can use it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the video, and we'll start off in the first section here. Once you already downloaded the file, go ahead and extract it and then open up the Unreal Engine file, and it will go ahead and launch the project, and it will load you right into the first map here. So let's go to the Destiny Sky blueprint that I have here. It's in the level right now, so we just look at the parameters that are attached to it, which is below here. For instance, we'll start with location. It has the latitude, longitude, time zone, and north offset for the sun. This is really handy, so when you had a certain sunrise and sunset from a different direction on your map that needs to be done, you can do it in that way. Or possibly a different planet that has a different variation of how the sun rises or sets or something like that. It kind of depends on your demeanor and how your map kind of shows up. So it's kind of a cool feature here. The next one down, you're gonna have date, which is, it provides you can change your months, your days. It keeps track of how those variables kind of work together with its day and night cycles that it has here. You also go into advanced, which has these extra features here. I didn't create all these features, by the way. This was all done via a plugin. I kind of used the blueprint that was there, and then I added to it. So it's kind of a cool little feature there if you want to use that. I know Destiny doesn't really use days and months in their cycles, but it might come in handy. You never know. Well, let's go ahead and jump into time variables. The one I'm looking at here is solar time, which is when you're made primarily like what time of day it actually is, and your sun rotates upon that with the moon as well. We actually have two different suns that we actually work with, believe it or not. And one's the sun and one's the moon. Two different planetoids that actually emit light. The next one, which is the total amount of time for the day and night cycle, I have it set at 1 right now, but you can appropriately set it a lot more than that to actually give a realistic time and day of how long cycles take. I believe it's like 45 minutes game time to equal 1 day in Destiny, so however that math works out, it's just like that. I also have a setting for the moon where you can move the position on the Y and Z. For instance, you actually don't need this to be a moon. It can be a different planet if you want to. It's easy to change within the materials of what you have. It's actually just a straight up material like image. So yeah, it's really easy to change out, and that's how Destiny does a lot of its planets, to tell you the truth. So nice and easy there to change. So kind of helpful. And the last of the parameters that I have available is clouds and the borealis that occurs at night. They could be either turned on or off, straight off. That's it. Or either you can also adjust their brightness, so you can be brighter during the day or at night particularly. So there's a little bit of adjustment that you can do there. But yeah, that's about it for the parameters that you can do within the level. You can also do a whole bunch more when you actually just jump into the blueprint itself. But from the level editor, that's the stuff that you have access to. So kind of a neat thing to have, and I think you can always add more to this later on to your own projects. And yeah, so let's go ahead and jump into the next part here. We'll do a deeper dive into the actual blueprint. So go ahead and open the Destiny Sky blueprint, And once you do, you can see that you have all the assets within the blueprint itself. It's kind of convenient because you can kind of just click and drag your environment right into your map, and you have your whole skybox right then and there, which is quite convenient. The things that I want to focus on this part right now is the two suns, in quotes, technically. There's a directional light, which is your main sun that you see during the day, but there also is the moon. The moon doesn't emit much of any light whatsoever, just a little bit more like an emissive, to tell you the truth, at the end of the day. But this does hit performance a little bit, having these two suns. The way that I was able to give you back performance via in the blueprint was when it's daytime, the shadows are turned off for the moon, and when it is nighttime, the sun, the daytime sun, has shadows turned off on there as well. So they just on a constant rotation of turning off and on their shadows to save on performance quite a lot. So that's kind of a cool thing. So jumping into the major heavy lifting of how this blueprint kind of works with your day to night cycle is that everything runs on a clock of 24 hours, and we do a little bit of math here. 60 divided by 1 and 60 times by 24 gives us our total time of day that we have here. This also can be changed within the variable live within level editor, which we just showed already. Going through that, we got it through the first sequence of things that we start with, which is our major timeline, which handles all the heavy lifting for the day and night cycle. We go through the moon here in this spot. It controls the rotation of the moon and where it should be, variation of where the sun is particularly. And again, that can be changed at any point, however you want that positioned. The other part, which we have the day and night cycle for the clouds on this one, particularly on should there be a brightness behind the clouds or not when the sun goes around it, particularly. It's also a work in progress, to tell you the truth, a little bit. It's not exactly where I want it to be, but the setup is what it needs to be, to tell you the truth. The functionality is there. The next part below that gets a little bit more into how the night cycle works, which is the borealis and stuff like that, where things actually spawn in at certain times of night, which is kind of a cool functionality to actually have there. And diving a little deeper into how the borealis and the aurora actually occur is via through their material and the adjustment through the variable of brightness. So by default, the material brightness is at 0. And when it goes through the time, day, and night cycle, it brings it up to a level of like 1, I believe. So yeah, you can see it right here where you can turn on the brightness. It defaults at 0, obviously, but if you turn up the brightness to 1, you can look at the map here and you can actually see it occur. So, but by default, it's always at 0, so it relies on the cycle of day and night. And then the last thing, which is for the lights that go on and off during times of day, particularly, you can have that at certain cycles, and also changing materials certain times of day as well. So that's also a cool thing, and we'll jump into that in the next segment into our materials. I'll show you how those kind of work as well. But that is like the main like overview of how this blueprint kind of works. It runs through timelines and then it cycles through that over and over again within its day and night cycle. So it's kind of a cool thing. Again, you can expand on this, make it more to your liking as you have here. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into the next segment. So let's go a little bit about the layers of how things are kind of broken down a little bit here. I drew a little bit of a diagram on MS Paint, and I hope you really enjoy my art that I created for you. I worked really, really hard on it. Anyways, so we have our ring of clouds that go around our map that you would see here. Okay, this is pretty much the ring material they have here. And then the other thing that I got from there, which is the flow map clouds, which is in this case for the Cosmodrome, it's just a little map that kind of occurs here. It looks small, but it's actually quite huge, to tell you the truth. Yeah, it encompasses a certain area that your flow map of clouds can actually circle around you, and it looks really fancy, to particularly, and you can see right here what it actually looks like. Also, the next layer above that one is stars. It's the outermost layer that gets turned on and off, particularly. Yeah, like during the nighttime, the stars get turned on, and whatever happens in between there. Sometimes there's layers in between this that might occur, and if that does happen, it's a pretty easy formula to kind of go with. It's like, was it stars or was it clouds? You know what I mean? It might be more flow maps, possibly, for what you have. It kind of depends. But in this case, the cosmic drone, it's pretty basic as like this. You got your outer ring of clouds that occur there. I got like 2 rings that occur in there. Then you got a flow map that occurs here, which is smaller, and then an outer one of just stars that happen there. And then with the stars, the moon is actually attached to this material here. And once we jump into the material part of it, I could show you how these actually are attached together. And it's kind of a cool functionality how they kind of work. So yeah, so that's a little bit of a breakdown of how the layers of everything goes together. Think of it like a painting, like you draw your things over each other one by one, and then you kind of layer it over so it looks better and better as the layers go on top of each other. So yeah, hopefully that's not too confusing. I don't think it is really, but like yeah, the main thing is layering your stuff together creates a better skybox. So that's the better thinking of it right there. So let's go ahead and jump back into some materials. So I found the best way of going through all of the materials is actually just doing it live right here. So bear with me as it might take a little bit longer, but I can actually explain and show you what the materials are and what they can actually do. So I have them separated out here within primary materials, secondary, and then material instances, level lighting, which we'll jump into, and then material functions. There's actually only one material function in here. This one is used for a bit of the master materials that are used throughout. The main thing of this material function, it is able to change the position, scale, and rotation of your textures primarily, and other things as well. So yeah, kind of a cool thing there for you. So so let's go ahead and jump into it here, into the primary materials. We jump into the cloud material, which is actually this one here. I already got it open. How about that? And it is the outer ring cloud material. This is the fairly basic cloud that you usually see. It's just a 2D cloud here, and it goes around the map on a panner that we have here. You can change the speed with all these parameters as such within the material instance. By the way, all of these objects that are here are ran in the material instances. So I have a material instance here. You can change the parameters live very easily and conveniently. We'll jump to that in just a minute. So let's go ahead and jump to this part first. So within the cloud material here, it comes with a primary texture that you'll be using, and also an alpha texture if you have one, turn on and off. By default, it is off. You can turn it on if you would like in the material instance here. The next thing that is, I think I've noticed, is the rim color of the clouds and also the main color of the clouds. These are derived by nodes that are over here, particularly with the sky atmosphere light direction node. This is able to take the placement of the sun, and when it is rising or setting, it will change into one of these colors with a linear gradient that we got here, which is kind of cool. Also, the same thing happens with the rim of the clouds, so hopefully it brightens those rims of the clouds to a different color, or to the same colors that I have here, to tell you the truth, and you can change that via in here as well. So kind of a cool thing for you to do there. Yeah, if you feel like updating this or changing it to work with your Skybox, please do so and update it here. So that's kind of most things for that. If you want to see a little bit of a demonstration of this, we can go to the sky. Right now it is nighttime, and we can go into this. That'll be bigger. I can change this into a different color if we would like, and I can do that. Or also, we got your emissiveness to the actual cloud itself. That can be changed as well. Also, a whole bunch of other parameters: stretching, increasing the speed of a cloud, so it could just go really fast, which is too fast. Yeah, so something like that, which is quite ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, so that's how that goes. Let's see. Right now I have it set at 0.5, so that seems to be a reasonable speed for that one there. Let's go ahead and jump into the next material. I'll go and I'll save that there, and we'll go into the primary here. Go and I'll save all. There we go. So we're at Destiny Skylight. So what this is here, we got the stars that are here, that's what that is right there. And there is a material instance that runs this, which is quite awesome. Oops, right there. You can change a lot of parameters in there, but let's go ahead and open up the master material first before we get into the other stuff. Things are a bit more organized than the last one. Well, in some ways it's more organized, I think. Yeah, you can change the moon. You can go ahead and change the glow of the moon on there. Also with the stars as well. There you go. Yep. And this also takes the sky atmosphere light sun disk as well. And it's able to adjust its brightness and also its opacity if you want it to be, I think, as well, from when the sun is, in the sky or not. So yeah, that's what that is there. And obviously you can change this instead of being a moon. Put it right there. You can change it into any other planet they would actually want it to be. Also the stars and stuff there, so a quick little demonstration of that one as well. So if I pull this up just a little bit here, find the moon, there it is. So we can go ahead and increase the brightness of the moon there. We can change its color to whatever color we would like. And then you can also go ahead and change the rotation of the moon, all that kind of great stuff. Also for the stars, you can go ahead and we can go ahead and do the brightness of it, so you can make the stars really bright if you would like. Or also go ahead and change rotation of the stars however it goes. Also, you can match the rotation if you wanted to the actual day and night cycle rotation as well, so it kind of follows with the moon a little bit. I don't know if that's a typical thing or not, but yeah, you can do a whole bunch of cool things with that. And again, mass material is all up for you to change and make it to whatever you would like to really modify for your project. So that's how that works there. The next one of the primary materials is the Sky Dome. This is a very important one here. A lot of special things that go into this one. So I'll go ahead and I'll open up. Let's see. Actually, let me show you which thing it's actually affecting here, which is, oh, here you go. This guy right here. So it's this boy right here. It's all of this. So if I go into here, it's all this great cloudage that comes over here and kind of loops onto itself. That kind of gives it a cool little, great little sweeping cloud effect that it has here. So really cool cloud stuff. A lot of parameters you can change in here. It's not commented a lot in here. I did a little bit of work. I reused a lot of my cloud material work that I did there, added it to here. I didn't add the edging onto this one for the highlights of the rim of the clouds because it didn't really work the way I want it to, but it might work for you. So if you want that, you just plug that into there. But for now, I just use the main set of color, so it just goes between these two colors, between day and night cycle on that one. So if I go into this here, I go into material instance for this one. So this is the material instance for this. It's got all these parameters. You can change the textures. You can add 2. I highly recommend using at least 2 for those. And also be able to change the color and demonstrate a little bit how this works. So right now it is nighttime, right? So if I change the night color into something like this, you can really change out the color and kind of make it really cool. So you can also change up the density for it, like where it comes, goes, stuff like that, where it appears on its line. A radius fade, so you can really have it within this radius here, which is kind of cool because everything occurs right above your head. So I figured it was kind of nice to go in from the outer edge and bring it in if that was the scenario that needs to happen. Whole bunch of other rotations. These are just your standard parameters, and then enabling the second texture, so that's an option to enable or disable that, and also the spanner speed for it. So right now it's at 0.1, so if I change it to like 10, it's going really fast. If I change it to like 0.5, it goes that kind of speed. So having it at 0.1 seems to be okay for this one. So yeah, that's how the Sky Dome kind of cloud materials actually work. This one does a lot of heavy lifting, and it is also a blend mode of additive. So kind of a cool thing. It doesn't cost as much as, like, say, a transparent material. So having it as additive makes it, you can see through it still, but also it saves on performance. So yeah, so that's that. I'm going to save that. Sure, why not? And these are just all the material instances that are used through here. Let's go ahead and skip through that because we'll get into the material instances via the materials that we're looking at for the base. The next one is the Sky Dome, like the Borealis Sky Dome. I have it that occurs here in this area. It's I'll show a clip of it, what it actually is supposed to look like. It's not 100% what I actually would like, but that's what this material is. It's pretty basic and bare for the most part. You can use this or not use this, but yeah, it's up to you if you would like to or not. But it was definitely a thing that was in the Cosmodrome as a an Aurora Borealis type thing that goes over your head and it curves over you. So it's kind of a cool thing, and I'll show a clip of it there if you haven't seen it already. Yeah, so let's go ahead, and I guess I can. I'll go to the material instance for you so you can actually see it. You can't actually see anything right now unless I turn up the brightness to at least a 1, and now you can kind of see what it does a little bit. But by default I have it at 0 because I don't need it on unless it's going through the day and night cycle. So that's how that works. And also there's the texture for it that's being used here, a very small texture. So anyway, let's get on to the next thing on our materials in the secondary, which is the Destiny flow maps. So I use this one for a different Borealis of channels. So I use it for these guys here. Whoop. There we go. These are the ones I use it for. So if I go to material instance, for instance, here, if I turn it to 1, you can start seeing it. Let's go ahead and turn it a bit more like that. And you can start seeing a nice little fade on there. It's kind of cool. It wisps around like this. It's kind of cool. And if you look here, that's what it kind of looks like right there when it is turned on. Yet again, it goes on and off via the day and night cycle, but by default, it is at 0. You can also change the contrast, the color, the textures for it, all that kind of great stuff. So, but by default, I keep it at 0. So I'll let the day and night cycle bring it in when it needs to come in. I'm going to save all real quick. Let's go ahead into the secondary. Let's go into the ship trails. This is a fun one. This took me a little while to figure out. And when I'm talking about the ship trails, I'm talking about these white ship trails that occur here and there. And they do spawn randomly for when they occur. So as you see there, they disappear and they will occur back randomly throughout here. So if I look here and I highlight all of the ship trails, whoa, if I zoom in here, I guess you can't really see them all at once right now because the material is transparent, but they are there throughout the map. It's all meshes pretty much. It's all that's there, but they all span randomly throughout the level. But if I take the master here, I'm able to get it at a pivot, and I'm able to randomize how it is spawned in, I guess, and its position that it's in, because I wanted them to spawn randomly, and fade in and out. And I do that via the panner here, and it changes the opacity via a gradient. And the way you can change some things there, as always, it is done through a material instance. So you have your gradient, your opacity, so and so from there. You know, that's how this works. You can't really see anything right now, but that's how it kind of works. So something to play with. Yet again, it is a secondary material, but it is kind of a good one to have in case you run into something else. Yeah, so that's the main functionality of those materials. I do have our level lighting material, but we'll get into that in the next segment, because I have dynamic lighting that changes either with material, we go from emissive, or either just generic lighting. So I will do that in the next segment of this video. Thanks for hanging in for this part. I know it was a long one, but I had to do this one live to kind of get through all the notes that I had. So yeah, anyways, get on to the next part. Let's go. So let's talk about a material that can be lit up via an emissive material. This is done in the blueprint of the day and night cycle. When it's nighttime, the emissive will crank itself up to 1, and when it's daytime, the emissive will go back down to 0. This is done through a material parameter collection that's ran through the actual material itself. You can actually see it right here. I can click and drag the material parameter collection into here and have it on a boolean on having the switches going on and off. And also in the material itself, I have it in material instance, which you can change the color of the emissive and all that kind of fun stuff there. So kind of a fun material that you can change the colors, and also they turn on and off via day and night. So yeah, that's how it works. Let's get on to the next section. So the next thing here we have is the dynamic light that can turn on and off via the day and night. So there is a blueprint for this. There's actually 2 blueprints that go hand in hand with this one. The first one is the main blueprint, which is the dynamic lights. So you can change the basic light that you have here, color, the brightness, all that kind of great stuff. You can change whatever kind of light it is, either a spotlight or whatever. And the main blueprint functionality is just pretty much setting the visibility on or off. I have it going via an interface, so it's very streamlined, so you can use it pretty much anywhere and you can use it efficiently. And yeah, in the interface that's there, it's just a boolean, either it's on or off. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Runs through the main day and night cycle blueprint, and it sets it through that way. So pretty basic and simple, as you can see right here. So by this point, you probably want to migrate what I have here into your project. So first thing you need to do is create a project, or if you would have it there, go ahead and open up your project. And next thing you want to do is go ahead and install the Sun Position Calculator plugin. This is very important. You need this for this blueprint to work. So that's how that goes from there. Once you have that done, go ahead and restart the engine, bring it back up here again, and we'll go into my project here and go ahead and right click and go to, I think it's actions, and then migrate. We want to migrate that Destiny Skybox folder, and we want to go ahead and take everything that's checked there and put it into our content folder only in our project. Once you go ahead and do that, it'll migrate over there. So yeah, there you go. So now all the files are in there. Let's go ahead and click and drag our blueprint, throw it into our map. But before we do that, we want to make sure that we delete all of any lighting that you have in there already. This only makes sense because I have all lighting stuff already provided. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Throw the blueprint into level, and if you want to go a little bit extra, throw a post-processing in there, and I highly recommend disabling eye exposure or whatever. Pretty much the thing is, it's if you go into a dark area, your eyes have a slower time adjusting to the darkness and brightness, so that type of thing. So yeah, that's what I do particularly with the post processor. So yeah, that should be the end of that. So yeah, that is the end of this video. I haven't done a tutorial type of video in quite a bit, so I hope you all really enjoyed it. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, please hit me up in the Discord or in the comments below this YouTube video. Whatever one is good there for you. But if you really want to get in and get a little bit more knowledge on everything that I've shown here, definitely go to the Discord. All the links are in the description below to download the blueprint, all that kind of great stuff there. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and this is David from ET Gaming, and I am out of here. Later.